kits today. So this is what we store our foaling kit in because it's accessible and easily moved around. It's got wheels on it. It's got a locking lid. So we're just going to go over some of the items. We try to keep everything neat and orderly inside. We'll go over each individual item as we kind of go through it. But I like this because it's got various pockets here that we can store things in. It's got a couple of little compartments that we can store all of our gear in. Plus it has a removable tray. So we can take the tray out and we can store a lot more in there below the tray. Alright, so we're going to kind of start with the before foaling items. So we've got our foal alert. We don't technically keep it in our foaling kit, but it is an item that we highly recommend for breeders. We got our little carrying case here. And then we can keep all of our little foal alerts and little bubble packs. And this is what we're going to suture into the mare, that we're going to be alerted when the mare starts to foal. So there's a little magnet in the side here. So when the feet start pushing out the mare's vulva, it's going to pop the magnet out, which sends an alert to our phones and lets us know that we have a mare in active labor. So we have several of these little transmitters here because we usually have several mares due at one time. So we keep all those stored up and locked away nice and tight for our foaling kit. So that's kind of our pre-foaling items that we need. Alright, next up we have our Pam Cooking Spray. We use this to spray the foal alerts to prevent manure from sticking to the foal alerts and getting them all gummed up and dirty. We do clean them a couple times a day just to make sure that the manure is not sticking in there, but the Pam Cooking Spray definitely helps to kind of keep things greased up and sliding off nicely. Vet wrap is also good to have on hand because you can use it to wrap tails up to keep them clean during the birthing process. So we usually always have some kicking around that we can use if we need to. We also keep some electrolytes on hand. You can also do this through Gatorade or Powerade, but it just gives your horse a little bit of a boost if you feel like maybe they're not drinking as much, leading up to the foaling or after the foaling. Sometimes they get stressed and they don't consume as much water as they should, and they can get their balance off a little bit. So this is just a little bit of a boost that we can give them to ensure that they're staying well hydrated and that their body is balanced. Next up we have medications that you might need during foaling. So we've got some anti-inflammatories, so if the mare is cramping or not feeling well after having her foal, this can really help make her feel comfortable so she's not acting colicky. And then of course 60cc syringe that you can use to administer the medication if needed. We have various other medications as well that we kind of keep in our medical cabinet, but these are kind of the main ones that you might need during foaling season. Alright, next up we have lube, because it is something that you may need during foaling. Sometimes you need to help pull the foal out, so it is good to have some lubrication there to make the process go better. So we just have regular lube that you can buy from any pharmacy, as well as the J-Lube, which we can mix with water and works really well to make kind of a lubricating bit of a soap there to kind of help move the foal out if they get stuck. Alright, here we just have some basic tools that you need. So top left are your hemostats, so you might need these to clamp off an umbilical cord. These are kind of like a towel clamp, so it's a little bit bigger. Might need it if the umbilical is quite thick. Then we've got some very sharp scissors, which you might need to cut open a red bag, or sometimes cut off the placenta if it's causing any issues. Again, regular scissors that we usually use to open up our shavings bags. We have dental floss, which we use to tie off the navel if the umbilical doesn't break, and then we have to cut the navel, which we use the sharp scissors for. Thermometer, so that you can check the foals and the mare's temperatures to make sure that everything is going good there. And then your stethoscope for checking heart rate and respiratory rate on your mare and foal. Then we have some Vaseline, which you can use to lubricate your thermometer to take temperatures. We also use it oftentimes on the foals' bums if they're having some really sticky poops, so that it helps the poop just kind of slide right off their tail and their hind end, so that they're not laying in it and it's not stuck to them. Next up we have Betadine, which we use for disinfecting any cuts that the mare might get during the labor process. So sometimes they'll get some cuts and tears in their vulva, so we can disinfect with Betadine. We also use this to dip the foal's navel. So on the left there we have basically it's a teat dipping cup for cows, but it works really good for dipping the foal's navels. So you just kind of put your Betadine in the bottom of it and you squeeze it up into the cup in the top, and then you slosh it around on the baby's belly and get their navel dipped effectively. We usually do this a couple times a day for the first few days until it's good and dry, to ensure that they're not picking up any bacteria or dirt from the environment. Next up we have some enemas. We always keep some on stock. We usually try to have more than one per foal, because sometimes they do need a second one. We give these to our foals if we notice any straining at all to pass their meconium, or if they haven't passed it by the 3-hour mark. So we tend to give it to them just because we don't want them to overstrain, because they can cause issues. They can cause ruptures around their umbilical. They can cause their stomach to get very irritated, or their bladder. So we just do enemas as a precaution to make sure that they're not overstraining and causing other health issues, which could be life-threatening. Then we just have your simple weight tape. We use this to monitor the mare's weight going up to foaling and after foaling, as well as getting a rough idea of how much our foals weigh at birth. You can also get a rough idea of how tall they are, and we keep a record of all these things so that we can kind of monitor their growth and their development. And then we just have some standard Ziploc bags. These are just sandwich sized bags. We find that they're really good if we need to milk our mare and maybe get some milk into our foals. It's easy to milk into the bag, and then we just cut a corner out of the edge of the bag to put in the foal's mouth so that they can get the very important colostrum. We also use them to collect tail hairs for DNA typing, which we need to do on all of our foals for registration and color testing. Next up we have some of our basic cleaning supplies. We've got some alcohol swabs, which you can use to disinfect scissors or your thermometer. Then we've got some gloves. Gloves are always handy to have. We have, these are just like regular hand gloves. We do also have full rectal sleeves that go up to your shoulder. We keep those in a separate area though, because it's a very large box. And then you have baby wipes. You can never have too many baby wipes, because you're going to be cleaning up the mare after foaling, you're going to clean up the foal. They do have very sticky poops for the first few days, so you're often going to use baby wipes to keep their bums nice and clean. So definitely recommend buying baby wipes in bulk. We also tend to have just some shop towels on hand, which are good again for any kind of cleaning up that you might need to do of yourself or your mare or the foal. Towels, you can never have too many towels. It's always good to have lots on hand so that you can help dry off the foal, dry off the mare after foaling, because they oftentimes get sweaty. So it's definitely a good idea to have a good stackable towels that you can use, and that you don't mind not getting a little dirty.